Hey, what's up, everyone? We got another beer review here going on the Chicago Beer Pass channel, and it's not old beer.
No.
We got fresh. We're about a month old from Hopslam here, so not as fresh as you can get, but still pretty damn fresh for a beer coming out of state, right?
You bet your ass it's fresh. You ever been up to, what is it, Comstock Park?
I've been to the Kalamazoo
Kalamazoo.
Bells, yeah.
Yeah. I went, I would say 2010.
Okay.
Before the revamp, before the addition was put on.
Oh,
I
nice,
haven't
okay.
been since. Yeah.
And this is I'm gonna be honest, this is my first time having Hopslam in the can. I've never purchased the cans. I usually end up having this beer on draft, or I remember when the bottles would get released. Like, I've just haven't picked up cans before.
Yeah. I think I may have picked some up this season.
Okay.
But this is my first year having it in cans too.
Okay.
Yeah.
But this is a 10% double IPA brewed with honey. So it's going to be sweet and hoppy, thick. I don't know. What other words can you use to describe what it might be without actually drinking it?
Yeah.
Yeah, very aromatic, it says.
Yeah, man, I love the it's almost like a straight fruit. Like straight fruit puree almost when you smell it. I like that. You know.
And you get a big fluffy head on it. It took a while. It took a while for the can to even like dissipate that, but it sticks around. It's billowy. Just looks nice.
Yeah, man, Hopslam rides that line of bittersweet more than most IPAs do. I think even down to the last sip, you know.
But yeah, that pininess. I'm kind of getting weird smells because the
Yeah.
detergent in these glasses kind of. They don't always. Everything doesn't get out of these glasses very well.
Piney, orange, peach, aromatic hops, you know. Nice bittering hop finish.
Yeah.
Like,
And then at 10%, when you drink it, it doesn't taste like 10%. I think that's my biggest problem, and one reason I haven't
it's not a problem, man.
I haven't dove into the 6-pack I have at home that much, besides
Yeah.
these now, because one, it's 10%. So that beer, that knocks you on your ass. We were drinking, Oscar's Pardon on a recent episode. That's 4.5% beer. That beer you can just kind of sip on, watch TV, or send out email at night or whatever. But
And and to your point, man, like I feel like there's more going on with the Oscars pardon. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the whole Belgian spice thing, the hoppy, the fruity hoppy thing
Yeah.
is also going on, but it's like half the ABV. I don't that's weird to me.
right, because beers that are like big stouts or big IPAs, the hops punch you in the face, right? In the IPA realm, where all you're getting is that hop, and you're chasing that bitterness to it. But this beer also isn't that bitter. It's like because it has that honey, it comes off more sweet.
Yeah, it comes off sweet, and then the bitterness isn't really allowed to shine because it's kind of riding shotgun with the nice boozy.
Yeah.
It's getting nice and boozy too, so it kind of takes your mind off, any bitter hops that are in there, which I like. But they are still there, just subtle. Man, this was one of the first beers that I really fell hard for. As far as like seasonal releases.
Okay.
I can remember like getting a case or being at Benny's and watching them tap it on cask and just like going everywhere and trying to buy it all out. And especially in the wintertime, where it's like this and Behemoth for me were like the very definition of like whales for a quick second. Maybe my very first year in the beer. Maybe you're talking maybe like 2009 or 10 in the craft beer.
Right, and because Hopslam was much harder to get than it is now in Chicago, where these 6-packs will sit on the shelf until either they just get maybe dropped in price, so people finally move them because it's a big IPA. You don't want that to sit around either because it's a shell of the beer in 3 months.
Yeah, it's almost like a rite of passage. Like Celebration Ale from Sierra Nevada.
Yeah.
That big, pretty, like almost Christmas time, collage of the snow covered,
Yeah.
scenery. Yeah, those beers just always good memories, man. Whether it's a Christmas ale or celebration or Hop Slam or
But I'm always a huge fan of Bell's. What's the other IPA they do that people like kind of?
The Oracle is the one I really get down
Okay,
with.
that
It's
one's
like it's like their double IPA and Hopslam's off season.
Okay.
Yeah, I like the Oracle.
And then Oarsman, and I've mentioned that like blueberry lemon Oarsman. I had at Fobab.
So Oarsman is not, because the one we had at Fobab was really good, the blueberry Oarsman, but it's not always
No,
blueberry.
it's usually just a mild sour.
Okay. People really get really amped up about Oberon.
Yeah.
I don't so much.
Not so much. I understand it. I enjoy an Oberon, but I don't like go nuts when it gets released.
Yeah, I will say I think Bell's Too Hard, I think, is the great American IPA.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for. I couldn't remember. Bell's Too Hearty. Yeah, that's a beer also that like crosses, I think, boundaries a little bit, where it's kind of people getting into beer. They first hear about this beer because it's a little easier to get, and it's not like this whale, but it's like, this is your IPA.
Yeah.
Like, that's what you want this beer to taste like.
Yeah. I don't know. I always say, if anyone asked me off the cuff, I would always say, like, a little something something was my favorite all-time beer. It's always been there for me when I needed it. Right? But really close to that, I think. And,
That sounds like what Lagunitas wants you to do. They're like basically like, man, this weed has just been there for me whenever I'm just down.
But, and I got some really nice Bell's branded glassware at home too, and I don't really get around to it at all. But that Bell's Too Hard is like, I don't know. I think it's a top 3 beer for me personally. Like, period. I think it's one of the best beers ever made. You know?
And
this is my first Hopslam. I'm not like super emo. I just think it's really good.
And they do a really good job, like we're saying, like those releases. Like we're talking, Bell's Hopslam gets released this time.
Yeah.
Oberon gets released at this time. They have really distinct seasonal releases that the Midwest goes nuts over.
Yeah. This is nice if you need I think other beers locally have kind of caught up to it. It is what it is. It's an IPA. But I still think this is a nice beer to reach for when you want something that will overwhelm you, right?
And get you drunk.
Yeah, and it does it in a way that, it's not coming through the front door with, a bunch of like, oh man, I'm gonna be ripped after this. It kind of, for me, it kind of sneaks up on you.
Yeah.
It kind of sneaks up on you, and that's cool.
Nice. All right. Well, that's our review of Hopslam. It sneaks up on you, and I'm cool with that.
Oh man.
All right. Well, be sure to hit that subscribe button, and episodes of the podcast and these beer reviews going up all the time on the channel.
Right on.
Take care.
Cheers.